All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Seat Academy's fourth live webinar. We are excited that this is our fourth one, and in today's topic, we are going to be touching a little bit on the difference between online schooling and going to a traditional school. So for this morning, I'm going to just quickly introduce our panel of teachers and tutors and parents. And we also have some of our main people that are behind the scenes of Seat Academy. So I'll be starting off with introducing Michelle. Welcome, Michelle. She is one of our parents at Seat Academy. If you could just say hello.
Good morning, everybody.
Thank you, Michelle. Now over to Pam, who is not only a mother of Seat Academy, but also a tutor with us. And joining her in the session is her son, Alex, who's also a student of ours.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Thank you, Pam. And just below Pam, we have Melissa, who is our sales consultant.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar.
Then we have John, who is our academic director for Seat Academy.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar.
And then we have JP. Ooh, JP has so many different titles for Seat Academy, but one of them is he is our IT guy, our brains behind getting our Google Classroom going, as well as our coding tutor, which is one of the great things we get to offer.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the webinar.
Awesome. We have a great bunch of people that are going to go ahead and discuss and answer any comments that come our way. But first, I'm going to hand over to Michelle. If you could just go ahead and discuss some points with us about the difference between online schooling and traditional schooling.
Fine. At present, it is concerning the most important thing is the child's safety. And doing it from home, it's so much better than to have to go and travel daily. And also then, because of the fact they have to take classes at different times. So they do not have the assurity that parent could take them to school early morning. And also then they have to be at school at certain times and only attend school for a certain time period. Whereas at home, they would be able to attend class, have their break, and then have their next session. So to me, that is much more safety assured, and also for the child, the child will be much more at ease to attend class in that way.
Thank you, Michelle. Can you also just explain to us your overall experience with Seat Academy as a parent?
As a parent, I have an excellent experience with Seat Academy because I have kids in grade 6 and in grade 7 at present. Previously, last year, they were in grade 4 and grade 5. So I have no problems at all with communication. Everything goes perfect. So when the child has to do the education-wise, they have no problem there either, because they could always go back on their videos to go and watch again if they are unsure about anything that they don't know. And when it concerns homework, it is so much easier and so much quicker to complete work, because majority of the work is to do it via PDF. It goes much faster and the child appreciates to do things much quicker in that way. And in a class, basically, there I have already witnessed it myself. They have much more communication with each other. And when it comes to exams, then they have a group that they would get on WhatsApp, and they would discuss the examination scope that they have received. And in that way, each one would be able to tell the other, no, you can work things out much easier on that way or this way, and know how to get things done much faster, so that we would understand something much better.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that feedback. Just to be a little clear on what Michelle was talking about with the the videos that they can catch up on. So one of the things that we do at Seat Academy is we not only have live sessions where the students join and can converse with the tutors and have discussions with them on the schoolwork, but we also have pre-recorded video lessons so that for some reason, if you have a power outage or some sort of family emergency and you happen to miss class, you can actually go and watch the pre-recorded video lesson, which explains the entire lesson so the kids don't miss anything. So with saying that, I'm now going to go over and just discuss our policy on bullying. So the difference between our school and traditional schools in the aspect of bullying is we don't tolerate it whatsoever. I know there is a lot of traditional normal schools that also have policies against bullying. But one of the standpoints that we have is because the students get to be in a live classroom, there can be times where kids will mention something that is a negative aspect. Maybe for some reason they decide to swear. We don't stand for that. Sometimes the students can call someone an idiot. It does happen. It is a slip of the tongue sometimes. But the tutors are so quick to talk to the students in the class and say, listen, guys, that's not a nice thing today to say. We need to be positive, okay? We need to not break each other down. We need to build each other up. The students also take a stand against it themselves if they feel that one of the students is not being treated fairly or correctly. They quickly stand up for each other and actually say, ma'am, that wasn't fair what the other student said about that child. And I think we need to say that it's not okay to say that. Sometimes the students and parents also send us screenshots of discussions that might be happening in the background that the tutor is not aware of for some reason. And as an academy, we are so quick to discuss with the parents that we don't stand for it, that it's not accepted to treat each other that way, and that we also go the next step of reassuring the child that has been bullied in a way that they can be proud of themselves. We build them up. We encourage them to be themselves, to be unique, and that there is no pressure to be anything than who they truly are. So that's kind of our stand on the bullying. And also, if the students are caught more than once bullying, they are removed from the class for a temporary suspension period until the situation is addressed and they have asked for an apology and for forgiveness, and then the student is allowed back into the classroom again. So that is our standpoint of the bullying. JP, if I could ask you to go ahead and discuss the benefits of online versus traditional schooling.
I would be happy to. Thank you, Claire. Well, so let me speak from someone who has attended traditional school in the past, not so long ago, a crisp figure of 8 years ago. Traditional school comes with a lot of benefits as well as online school as well. So let's just discuss the traditional side quickly. Obviously, in a traditional school setting, there's lots and lots of people interaction with other peoples. There is direct, of course, pupil to teacher contact, and basically, obviously, there's presence. There's physical presence of pupils around them as well as with a teacher in class. And obviously that's good. And of course, at a traditional school, there are a lot of extramurals, of course, that can come with that. However, what I found in the last couple of years that I've also migrated over to online learning, that the online schooling does allow for learners to manage their own learning as well as teaching them how to manage their own time. There is a less chance of being spoon-fed or a less chance of them running to someone to ask a question. Instead, they almost feel like they are in a little bit of if I can use the word, I wouldn't say alone, but it's literally just them versus them. And they actually have to go and see what is actually on the inside of them and what they can actually do. So therefore, they are on a journey of self-discovery, self-learning, and they've learned the skill entirely on their own. with just finding out the answer using resources all on this little device called a computer, PC, or a tablet, smartphone, whatever device they are choosing to learn from, choosing to actually go and dive deep to go and find out, where is my answer? I can't find it here. Okay, great. I need to go research again. So you're also teaching them a skill with online learning to not give up, to not just stop at, I can't go ask someone, I'm just going to let it go. So I found that is possibly one of the greatest benefits of an online platform, is that it really stretches the individual to learn more about themselves and learn about problem solving on its own. Another thing also about online learning that is also I would say a bit more beneficial, is that with online learning, you can particularly focus on skills that is needed for the times that we are living in. Whereas I find, I'm not downgrading a traditional school, no, but with online learning, you can really hit those specifics because you're online, you have time, you can put your content out there, and you can let the student learn at their own pace. And definitely with the model that SEAT runs with the recorded lessons, they have access to the teacher at all times. They can watch the video 20,000 times, 20 times, 5 times, until they really get what they need. So online learning, I really say, has a load of benefits. And as we have seen with our own students now, it's benefited them.
Awesome. Thank you, JP. I will now hand over to Melissa. Melissa, go for it.
Good morning. Oh,
Hi there, Claire. I think Melissa's just frozen for a sec. So what is the question that you wanted me to address?
I wanted you to just mention to all our viewers about the fourth industrial revolution, the benefits of direction, and others online can discuss personal observations.
Yeah, so in terms of SEAT Academy, our mission is to prepare our learners for the world they're entering. That's the world of the fourth industrial revolution. And as JP has said correctly, there's certain things that you can do in an online environment that's difficult to sometimes do in a traditional environment. And so with regards to what we offer, for example, is all our learners from grade 2 to grade 7 do coding, or grade 9, sorry, from grade 2 to grade 9, they do coding. And the plan is that they'll continue with that. In terms of one of the skills that needs to be done in terms of the fourth industrial revolution is maths, for example, is a gateway subject. And so one of the ways in which we're setting SEAT Academy up is so that we've got a very high throughput rate of maths as well as excellence in that space. We know that a lot of learners go for extra tuition, but not everybody can afford that additional 500 Rand to 2,000 Rand a month for extra classes for maths. And so I believe that if we, from a young age, we can basically bring our learners in terms of excellence. And as JP and Claire, you alluded to, the fact is that learners have the time. So in other words, if they've done a section of work, they can go back to it. And our focus and moving forward is that the primary means of learning will be the pre-recorded video lessons, but then you have the online classes as well that's live and interactive. And that's where we wanted to develop the critical thinking, communication skills, collaboration, and so on. And, just reinforcing whatever work has been done. So yeah, so in terms of SEAT Academy, we do believe that we're preparing our learners for the world they're entering. With a high unemployment rate of our youth, we need to have a different mindset going forward. And the mindset that we want to develop for our learners is that of entrepreneurship. We want to give them the required skills they need that's in high demand once they leave school, so that they will be able to be productive and leaders in society. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, John, for that. I'm just going to go ahead and answer one of the questions a parent has asked us on the feed. Tanya, Your question was, no, sorry, it was Ursula. Sorry, Ursula, do you need to have your camera on during class? We would prefer to have the camera on so that we can see the students, but it is not a necessity during normal live classes. But during examinations or assessments and assignments, yes. We need to be able to see the students, as it is a step towards integrity in ensuring that our exams and assessments are done honestly, that we can see the students, we can see that they are being honest, that they are doing the work that they are required to do with no ability to cheat or do something that might be wrong and can cause question to the paper. For Tanya, you said that your son is awfully shy and chooses no video and no speaker. Oh, it is, however, compulsory during exams. Yes, that is correct. Thank you. That is also why we say we would prefer it, but it's not a necessity because we do get very shy students. So it's just a matter of making them feel welcome and comfortable in the class. And I'm proud to say that that is something that all our tutors love to do. Make the kids laugh, make them feel comfortable, and help them climb out of that little box that they feel they cannot talk or be open and honest in class. But we promote that with Seat Academy. I would just like to hand over to Pam, who is, as I said, not only a tutor, but a mom as well with Seat Academy. If you can just go ahead, Pam, and talk about the different methods that we can do, and then have Alex chat as well.
Thank you very much, Claire. I spent 8 years teaching in a normal school, and I found that the teacher standing in front of the class and write everything down, and the children just need to catch up. Where at Seat Academy, we go through everything step by step. You can have your student unmute themselves and ask, "Ma'am, but I don't understand," and you explain it again. And with that student asking, like you said, the shy students, with that student asking, it becomes a whole open discussion between the students. So there's no, oh, but you spoke and you're the teacher's pet and you done this, because everybody is involved. It's not a case of me standing up saying, okay, do this, do this, do this, and do this, and I'll let you do your thing. It's a hands-on thing where all the tutors are fantastic. We all do our part, and everybody makes sure that the students understand, which I think is phenomenal.
Thank you for that, Pam. Alex, if you could just share with us a bit, my boy, of your experience at Seat Academy.
As a student, I used to really enjoy being in a traditional school. I used to love having friends and I used to just love interaction with other people. I'm not a very shy kid. I used to talk to the shy kids, try to get them out of their shell. But at Seat Academy, you can have that same thing. You just can't really interact, which is kind of a downfall, but you learn more as more of a benefit. You learn much more. In a normal school, you can goof around with your friends and not learn that much. As in Seat Academy, you can learn much more. You have coding. You have a brilliant math teacher in grade 7, Mr. Adrinsa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. He's a brilliant tutor. I just wanted to let you guys know. JP, he's the greatest coding teacher. Well, I've never really had a coding teacher. He's the greatest coding teacher I've ever met. He's brilliant at what he does. I've really looked into coding. And yeah, I think that Seat Academy, if you really want your child to go really up in life, like be Bill Gates or another Elon Musk, go to Seat Academy. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Alex.
Can I just say something clear before you go on? Thank you, Alex, for joining us. I really appreciate that. And yeah, You could be the next Elon Musk, and thanks for that. I really appreciate that, Alex. Thanks, guys, and thanks. Well done, James. You're obviously doing a great job there.
All right. We have a question from a parent. Can curriculum be tailored to a child? For example, if they're very good at maths and can be ahead there, but at a lower level, say with English. John, can I get you to answer that one for us, please?
The idea really is we're offering the CAPS curriculum. So the idea is for us to try to catch that child up. If they are, say, grade 6, we want to catch them up to at least grade 6 level for all the subjects. So let's say that they're at the lower level in Afrikaans or whatever, then we'd rather support that child to try to get up to that level. I know that in normal homeschooling, it's not a big deal because the assessment only needs to be done at the end of the phase. But I think in general, we try to get the learners up to the same level. There was another question around matric exams and where that gets written. So the only time the learner won't be doing it online is the very final matric exam, where the November, December exam, I think it starts around October. They will be writing that exam at the exam venue close to where they live. So that is a arrangement that we have with Sakai. And Sakai is basically the institution that is aligned with Umalusi, so that by the time your child completes matric, they get a normal national senior certificate to NSC. So in answer to your question, we do have an arrangement with Sakai, and they'll place the child at the school or institution close to where they live. Thanks, Claire.
Pleasure. And then I just want to answer the question as well. Same parent who asked about the curriculum, I think. No. Can a child have their own facilitator next to them if needed, if it's for a child that has autism, or even if it's a child that has a learning barrier? Absolutely. Because our lessons are online, you are more than welcome to have a facilitator sit with your child. It won't interrupt our classes. It won't interrupt the lessons as long as the mic is on mute. They are more than welcome to sit there and assist. In fact, we have quite a few learners who not necessarily have a learning hindrance or barrier, but just that they struggle with school in general, and they actually have their own private tutor sitting with them in our classes, in the lessons every day. 100% not a problem. Yes, John.
I just wanted to answer the question around exams, additional costs. So our fees include, we're trying to be the most affordable online school in South Africa so that we are as accessible as possible. So the price that we charge, that covers exams, it covers the online resources, it covers the tutoring, it covers assessments, it covers everything. So the price that you're paying, the monthly price that's quoted, and maybe Melissa can just give us a breakdown of the prices for next year. That covers everything. So, we're trying to make it as accessible as possible. And the reason for the additional cost for grade 10, 11, and 12 is due to the fact that within our pricing, we're wanting to cover that cost of assessments. Melissa?
Yes, thank you, John. So from the pricing structure, so first of all, if there's any parents that obviously is still looking for placement for this year, we do still have space available from grade 2 up until grade 7 only, which is 550 per month for the fees, and your registration is 550 Rand. So the fee structure for 2021, grade 1 to 9, from grade R to 9. Goodness, I almost forgot a grade there. So grade R to 9 is 550 Rand per month, 650 per month, registration once off for all grades is 550 Rand. The grade 10s, we on 850 Rand per month. Grade 11, 1,100 Rand per month. And then we have the grade 12s, which is 1,400 Rand per month. The pricing structure includes everything that we've been discussing. So the pre-recorded lessons, the resources that we provide, the online classes, the assessments, the exams, everything is included in the price that you are paying per month for that particular grade. There is no additional cost whatsoever. At a later stage, we are planning on, obviously, we will be adding on some extramural activities that will, some of them will be at an additional cost, some of them will not be, but it's all in discussion, and we keep on improving and we keep on growing with regards to our platform, and obviously making sure that we provide our students and our parents the best support we can, and educational journey for their kids going ahead. Thanks, Claire.
Pleasure. Go for it, John.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you. It's a pleasure. That's fine, Tanya. And then just in terms of the availability, I think Melissa just missed out that we do have grade R as well. This place available for grade R. And then we do have an online ECD program as well. So if you have any kids from the age of 1 to 5, we've got an online ECD program. It is possible. I see there's a question from Tanya. He's completed his Cambridge grade 11 equivalent. He can change to CAPS. The only challenge might be the fact that he has to do a first additional language. So Tanya, I think it would be best for you to just chat to Melissa and to see if we can accommodate him in regards to that particular process. So yeah, I think, yeah, over to you. I just wanted to answer that question for Tanya and so on. I think JP JP, go for it.
Sorry, sorry, I felt so bad right now. No, I also got something that I just I don't think I've touched on with the benefits of online and traditional schooling as well. Maybe just to give some more parents or more listeners some better insight, is that kids sometimes at a traditional school, in a traditional school environment, they could have other issues such as anxiety. Anxiety is a big deal. You know, it's not something that that should be overlooked. Maybe with concentration or kids that have shorter attention spasms than others. In traditional school environment, sometimes it's kind of hard to manage that. But of course, with an online situation, and especially what we have here, we have maximum output of teaching with a little bit of a constricted or shorter amount of time. So, you know, we kind of catering for everyone's attention spasm, plus with the recorded video that's afterwards allows the learner to again go watch the video at their own pace. So we're managing a little bit of an anxiety as well as concentration, as well as attention spasm. So we're kind of managing, and we kind of also offering a plan or a solution for every kid, essentially. So yeah, so Seat Academy, our model is kind of built for everyone.
Yes, John.
Thank you, Claire. Just to add to what JP was saying is that our live interactive classes in terms of the fourth industrial revolution, it's 30 minutes each, and we have a maximum of around 30 learners per class. So I know that in many public schools, the class sizes are 45 plus, especially at that critical grades, grade 8 and grade 9. And so we're keeping the numbers at around 30. Maximum 32. Melissa will push for about 32, but yeah, so I think that's another advantage of Seat Academy, and the fact that we are now introducing other clubs and societies. So it's about developing those leadership skills, the ability to communicate with others, and so on. And as JP has said correctly, you know, the thing is, in the normal traditional school setup, you do have a lot of folks or learners that's anxious and so on, and I think that we assist quite a bit in that regard. We do have a service for learners that are struggling in that particular area. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, John. And then just to basically end off our session, everything that everyone is saying is basically boiled down to the fact that we want your kids to excel, point blank, because the world around us is changing constantly. And that's why we created Seat Academy in the beginning, was because of COVID. We saw that there was a need, that these kids needed our help. Now we have a different situation where we have kids leaving school. We want to help them. That is also why we have an affordable cost, because you know what? It shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg to send your child to a school or to a service that they can excel. And that's what we're trying to achieve at Seat Academy, is helping everyone around us to achieve the best that they can possibly achieve in life. Yeah, and that's it from my side. I don't know if anyone else wants to say one last thing to end off our session.
Sorry, Claire. I just want to thank everybody, but I'll give Pamela the last word.
Taking my boys from a traditional school into Seat Academy was the best decision I ever made. And I will never ever look back. My eldest son started off his message last night with saying, "You're looking at Seat Academy, don't." And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And it turns out that he does not want to go to a normal school. He is excelling, he's doing well, he's got tutors all the time, they've got extra lessons, it's phenomenal. If any child struggles with anything, the tutors are readily available. So thumbs up to Seat Academy, and I'm speaking now on a parent's point of view and not as a tutor point of view.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm very happy that your boys are excelling and very proud of them too. Thank you everyone for joining us for today's session. I appreciate everyone who took the time to join us in discussion. Michelle, Pam, Melissa, JP, and John, thank you for your time. Thank you, parents, for joining us and asking us questions. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week for another webinar. Bye, everybody.